Hello everyone, Rockstars the podcast. Back again for another album review. So if you don't know how these work, let me explain quickly. I go through a new album that's just come out, listen to it, and this is the instant reaction just after finishing. So you get a really raw feeling, that first listen can often be the most important of how you feel about a song, how you connect with the music. And this is why we do it this way, because it gives you the most authentic reaction rather than someone who sits and listens to an album over and over trying to really go into the depths of it. This is an overview of a full album. We don't go into the depths of it, we just talk about what we enjoy about it. And that's enough rambling, because DMA'S How Many Dreams is out now, and this is the instant release reaction. So what did I think to the album? It's a real 50-50 one for me, and excuse my throat, I've been a little bit under the weather. It's a real 50-50 album, this. There are some really, really good songs. Forever is a good song. 21 Year Vacancy, probably my favourite. The only one that I'm definitely after this going to be listening to again, probably on repeat for a while. Everybody's saying Thursday's the Weekend, that was released as a single, so I knew that one was quite good. What else have we got on there? Dear Future again, another one. And maybe Get Ravy. But do you know what? I feel like DMA'S have missed an opportunity with this album. We all know that DMA'S, those big ballads, that's where they're at the best. And in 21 Year Vacancy, with they're famous for those outros and for really drawing an audience in and keeping them going. If you see them live, you'll know that In the Air can last about 10 minutes because the outro is that good. That Delete, the outro, so that's amazing. 21 Year Vacancy, again, they've done it. And that sort of music, the anthems, the ballads, and Dear Future as well with the strings and the orchestra, this is where they're at the best. If you listen to the Unplugged album, it's unbelievable. But then they have this tendency for wanting to do the electronic stuff and, something that's not exactly down my street. And you know what? Fair play to them, because they do what they want to do. They're successful doing it. That's the dream, really, isn't it? And, for them to say it's their best album that they think they've done, who am I to say any different? But I will, because that's what we do. And for me, it's a solid album. Is it their best? Probably not. The Hill's End, when they came on the scene, was a very British album, you could say. Just very reminiscent of 90s Manchester and stuff like that. And people want that again. And DMA'S, they have like two roads they could go down. They've gone down their personal road of just doing whatever they want. I think if I was in a band, that's what I would do as well. But they could have gone down the other route of just trying to appease the fans. And that is something that they don't do. They draw in new people because they're constantly evolving and changing their sound and being innovative. But they do push people away by doing that, who are drawn in by songs like Delete and by Lay Down, who maybe aren't into songs like Olympia and I Don't Need to Hide. But that's a real powerful thing in music, to be able to just do what you want and enjoy doing it. And if people like it along the way, that's just a bonus. And I think this is where DMA'S are at in their career. I read a review on Enemy saying there was a missed opportunity for them to really solidify a sound. And you can really feel that within the album, because it does jump about. Like every other song's completely different to the last. I feel like the flow of the album's not quite there. I feel like it could have been worked on better, or maybe some songs maybe shouldn't have been put in there. I don't know. But ultimately, I would say half of it I enjoyed and half of it I didn't. And for a DMA'S album, considering the first and second I loved, And the third, do you know what? I actually enjoyed the third as well. A lot of people give it stick. But no, the Glow, the third album, was also very good. But for me, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 6 being the average, so it's above average album. And that's due to songs like Dear Future and 21 Year Vacancy, because they are so good that they boost up the score. But like I said, a lot of the songs on there, I would say maybe half are maybe not down my street. And by looking at some of the reactions on Twitter, I feel like not a lot of people have enjoyed it either. I've seen a lot of scores below 6. Maybe a little bit harsh, but you know what? Music's all opinion based. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But yeah, at the end of the day, DMA'S, they're at a stage in their career now, 4 albums in, where I feel like they're getting to this ceiling now. And if you're really going to push through it, you need to do something extraordinary. And for me, this album isn't that. It's good, don't get me wrong. And do you know what? DMA'S are just a nice band to listen to. As we all know, the frontman, Tommy, one of the nicest voices in the music industry at the moment. But we've seen it with bands like Cortinas and Catfish, where you hit that ceiling and you can bash through it. And that's sort of like what AM did with their Arctic Monkeys did with AM for their 4th album. They'd hit that it was the 5th album, wasn't it? So they hit that ceiling with the 4th album and they just ran straight through it. AM came out and all of a sudden they're one of the most highly regarded bands in the world. I don't think DMA'S will ever get to that. But I do think they're a great band. They're a really good live band. And like I said, they're really nice to listen to. They're just enjoyable. They're not harming anyone. You know, I don't think their music could ever offend anyone. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. You'd have to ask them. But maybe it's a little bit... It's not samey because they try something different all the time. I'm not too sure what the word would be. Maybe... because they are brave in trying new things, but maybe they're just not wholly committed to truly following what they want to do. Because I feel like in some of the songs they maybe do play it safe rather than giving it their all. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to call it there. DMA'S, How Many Dreams. Let's give it a 7 out of 10. It might be a grow. It might go up to a 7.5. I don't think it will go higher than that. And yeah, highlight songs, like I said, Dear Future, we've got 21 Year Vacancy, Everybody's Saying Thursday's the Weekend, Forever also. Those are my top songs. And let me know what you thought on DMA'S, How Many Dreams, out now, link in the description below. And I'll see you next time. Take care.